Hey everybody, welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. It's Sunday once again. These weeks soon shoot by. So we're back in Blu-Roy Towers and we're going to have a look at the weekly watches. 6 watches this week. It's definitely slowed down the last few weeks. What we're starting my new job. Getting towards the business end of the football season. There's a lot of good matches on the TV. Not that they include any of my team, Spurs, who never seem to be around at the business end of the season, but there you go. So let's crack on, have a look what I've watched. Some pretty good stuff, if I do say so myself. First up, I cracked into my new 4K set of the Police Story trilogy, which I've shown off on a previous video in the channel. And I stuck on Police Story 1 to have a look at the quality of the 4K, really, more than anything. And yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful in 4K. Really vibrant, really colourful. Sounds great. And this is just a fantastic action movie from, what year was it? It was the 80s, wasn't it? 1985. And I think it was actually directed by Jackie Chan. If I'm wrong about that, please put me right, but I'm pretty sure it was. This is, for me, a seminal action movie. Not much of a story, really, but you don't need that when the action is as good as it is in here. Some really memorable, iconic set pieces. The bit with the double-decker bus where he's hanging off with an umbrella. The final fight out in the shopping mall. God, they broke some glass in that scene, I know. And his iconic slide down the pole at the end. You can see how poor guy's injured himself so much down the years just for our entertainment. Just fantastic stuff. If you haven't seen the Police Story trilogy, get on them. They're absolutely awesome. Next up, I went into the DVD collection to watch Soldier, a Kurt Russell film directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, not to be confused with Paul Thomas Anderson, who might be appearing later in this pile, because they're two totally different filmmakers. I think their films are really on the different end of the seesaw of movie making. But yeah, this is a decent little sci-fi action here. What year is this? I think it's 1990 something. Just a short 95-minute, easy to watch. Kurt Russell, he plays a, not going to say genetically modified soldier, like a soldier from a breeding program. They're all bred from an early age and raised from babies to be so-called super soldiers. And then after a certain while, I think he's about 40 at the time, he's superseded by a new and better model. He's left for dead on a barren planet. And then when his soldiers that have superseded him come onto the planet to sweep the planet, all kicks off, and it's a sort of one man against all the rest of them, picking them off one by one. It's really entertaining. Kurt Russell's in it, I'd say, for 85% of the film, and he only speaks 105 words, so he didn't have much dialogue, so it wouldn't have took him long to learn his lines. Kurt Russell's own son played him in this when he was supposed to be 10 years old. So, yeah, really interesting. Don't think it's got a UK Blu-ray. I think you can get a foreign one, but it's pretty expensive. But for 50p, it wasn't the best quality DVD I've ever seen in my life. It was worth a watch, and maybe one I'd go back to in the future. Next up, I watched Berserk, a film from 1967. I really enjoyed this one. This was sort of an early slasher, if you like, set in a circus. It starred Joan Crawford, who I need to watch more of her because she's a brilliant actress, and I can only think of this and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane off the top of my head that I've seen her in. Yeah, she plays the circus like ring mistress, and she owns a circus. There's a great cast in it. The British bombshell Diana Dawes, Michael Gough, who you might remember as Alfred from the 80s Batman films, Judy Geeson, I think that's it, Judy Geeson or Judy Geeson, never not sure how to pronounce it, who seems to be cropping up in a lot of things I've watched recently. She was in To Sir With Love, she was in the Candle for the Devil, whatever it's called, that I sent to Sam recently. And she's also in this, which I'm watching a bit of at the moment. The brilliant 70s wartime drama Danger UXB. She's in that as well. So yeah, it's funny how that happens. Like, you watch somebody and somebody appear in other things quite coincidentally. But yeah, this is really quite a good fun, although it's rated pretty lowly on IMDb and Letterboxd. I quite enjoyed it. There's some great kills in it, some, great interesting story. There's a lot of actual performances from the circus. I think it was Billy Smart's circus, famous British circus, that did them all. And that detracts when you read some people comments on it, but I quite enjoyed it. It was like a throwback because they had elephant acts, horse acts, poodle acts, lion acts, things you don't see anymore in cinema since the world softened. Circuses since the world softened up. This is a 1967 film, and the only thing that detracted from me was the ending. Now, do I give it away? Yeah, I'm going to spoil it, because after all, the film's older than me. And no, it's not a silent film. Yeah, the film's older than me. So if you don't want to hear the ending, put your fingers in your lug holes or something. But the killer turned out to be Joan Crawford's daughter, who was played by Judy Geeson. And that was just impossible, because for the first two murders, she was away in a boarding school. So how they comprehend that you're going to swallow that, I don't know. It's maybe the biggest loophole I've seen in a film ever. Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous. But apart from that, really great film. Really enjoyed that. Worth picking up from Indicator next time they have a sale. Well worth a £5. Next up, I was sent Assault on Precinct 13, the Carpenter one by Larry, after I was probably rightly lambasted for only have watched the remake. And yeah, this is a great film. Pretty much the same story as the remake. Holed up in a police station with marauding, faceless baddies trying to get in. It reminded me a lot of Night of the Living Dead. Just the concept of, because the gang that's trying to attack the police station, they're very characterless, almost zombie-like. And then you've got the black guy in charge of everybody, trying to keep them out the building. And I wasn't surprised to read afterwards that Romero was a big influence on Carpenter for this one. So yeah, really great great action film. There was a scene near the start with an ice cream van that quite shocked me, actually. I wasn't expecting it. I'm sure if you've probably all seen it and know what I'm on about. Yeah, really good. Carpenter as well, another fantastic tune he's composed for this. I think he was a better composer than he was filmmaker, to be honest. And to be honest, I like it. I think I like the remake just as much. Please don't hate on me too much. I think they're both great films and I can't split them. That's probably ridiculous to most of you, but hey, we're all different, aren't we? Yeah, really good. Next up, I watched another great film. This Gun for Hire, directed by... it's gone out. We had Frank Tuttle, 1942. It's got the beautiful, fantastic, probably the most iconic femme fatale for me in these noir films, Veronica Lake, Robert Preston, but you wouldn't know it because they don't even say him on the cover. This film belongs to Alan Ladd. He's the main star of this. I don't care what you say. He was absolutely brilliant in this. He plays a hitman, and he's a horrible character in it. He's got no scruples at all. He does a job, and he's double-crossed on the job in true film noir style, where he's paid out in marked dollars. So the police are onto him straight away. He's evading the police, and it turns into an industrial spy espionage type film, where this chemical company is trying to sell chemicals to the Germans for them to make weapons, as it's set in 1942. So yeah, a little bit propaganda, I suppose, as it's a war film, but had a really twisty, intelligent tale to it, and I really enjoyed that. Until my next watch, that would have been my watch of the week. And another actress I need to watch more of, Veronica Lake. I think I've only seen her in 2 or 3 films, and as I say, for me, if you look at femme fatale in the movie dictionary, there'll be a picture of her there because she's fantastic. And lastly, by no means least, and I did a video about this a couple of days ago, Paul Thomas Anderson's Punch Drunk Love, and this is the best film I've seen for a long time. Absolute great crime story that I really enjoyed. It's a short film, 90 odd minutes, and a film by Adam Sandler I enjoyed. I'm the first one to slag him off, laugh at James because he loves him, but I've got to give him his dues here. Absolutely fantastic in here. Like I said, I made a video in the week about it a couple of days ago. Go and check that out. Really good. Yeah, so that's everything for the week. 6 titles, pretty much all quality. I've enjoyed them all in various ways. These weeks soon go by. I'll soon be back with another week's. Thanks for watching. If you've liked what I've done today, give me a like. Give me a sub if you want to hear more of my inane ramblings. And you can do that. It's all free of charge. Thanks very much, and goodbye.